All right, welcome to my stream. So today I'm going to be doing two different things on this particular stream. First half, I'm going to spend some time working on some tenor sweeps, specifically like some doubles, doing some crossovers, things like that. Then the second half, I'm actually going to move my setup, move the entire desk, and put it right in front of the kit. And I'm going to work on some limb independence exercises, because last week when I played drum kit for the first time in a couple of months, it sounded terrible. So plenty of things to work on, which is great. Okay, so my goal with these streams is to share what it's like as somebody who's been playing for over 20 years, how I practice, the things that I listen for, the things that I focus on, and what I do to try and improve that. So I will be pointing out my mistakes. I will not be hiding those, and I share them after the fact on YouTube. So if you ever miss one, you can watch the recording. Usually releases within a couple days. So that's my goal, and we're going to start off with warming up, and I'm going to switch. Cool. It shut off my microphone. I gotta disable that hotkey. I had it set up the other day so that when I was playing drum kit, I could mute my microphone. And unfortunately, it looks like it kept that on there. So now I gotta find where that's at. Not there. Not there. Oh, here we go. Remove. Okay. Now you can actually hear me. Cool. So anyways, as I was saying, what I'm going to do is go through an exercise just to kind of get my hands flowing. And I'm going to play through... Nope. Let's do some stick control. And I'm going to do this one, advanced stick control with filler. Cool. There's an ad. Not monetized, but still get ads. Okay. So make sure it's 1080. Awesome. Now I'm going to go down into the description, and I'm going to... Let's start off at 100 and see how this goes. Oh, that was weird. All right. All the little airs today. Whoops. Woo, I'm rusty. so slurring out some of them a little bit. I'm going to do this faster. I'm going to lower my heights a little and speed her up. Okay, let's try 110. Not a great attack. Okay. I'm going to do this at 115, and then I'm going to stretch. I think that should be good for getting the blood flowing in my hands. And then I'll try speeding up after I stretch. Let's switch over to this. So what happened earlier, I had a foot pedal, and the foot pedal was set so that I can swap between these two different modes. But I had it set up so that when I was playing drumkit, that I could mute my mic and unmute my mic, so that's why it muted things earlier. And switch the hotkeys back. Okay, so I'm going to stretch now, so I'm going to hold my sticks like this, and then you pull one in and under, and you follow through like that. It gives you a nice, good stretch. I definitely need it today. And then you just kind of work your way back out the way that you came. If you're working traditional grip, rotate that way or that way. I'm not working traditional grip anymore. Okay, so now I'm going to stretch the underside, my tendons, my forearm. It's a good stretch, not jerking the motion, just kind of holding it static. Then you do the other arm. Ooh, this one's tight. Okay, now I'm going to go with my top side of my forearm, stretching there. And then the other forearm. Okay, now I'm going to stretch my fingers. So I'm doing thumb to thumb, like this. And now index. That one's tighter. And then middle finger. Ring finger. Apparently I'm popping. And pinky. Okay, now that I've stretched, I want to massage. So this is just good practice to help loosen up all the muscles. Move so you can see this a little bit better. So massaging the forearm. Kind of getting both the top of the forearm and underneath where the tendons are. If you need to, you can get up into the bicep, tricep if that's tight. Okay, let's go ahead and switch sides. Massage the arm with the tattoo. At least this one has a forearm tattoo. This one actually has a bicep tattoo. Well, upper arm tattoo. Okay. Now I'm going to massage my palms, both the inside and then the back side of my hand. It's good to just loosen everything up. And then I go from base to tip of the finger, massaging inside and outside of the hand. Cool. And then switch to the other hand. And I do this every time I am playing for a bit to help relax my hands. So highly recommend coming up with your own routine or following this routine with me. Whatever works for you. Point is, you gotta stretch, gotta massage, maybe even ice if you play a bunch. Maybe even like elevate, like just let the blood flow, drain out of your arms. Because inflammation in general is just kind of bad. You want your arms to heal so that way you can play the next day without any pain or anything like that. Okay, cool. So now that I've loosened up a bit, I'm going to continue to warm up. And I'm going to go back to stick control. Let's slow that out. Let's go ahead and we'll just pick up where I left off with 116. And then I'll speed it up even more. A little slow. Forgot what pattern I was playing. Okay. Let's do 120. So go even faster. And there. All right, here we go. Okay, let's talk for a moment. So, one of the things that you'll notice when I'm actually practicing like this, now I'm going to switch over. There we go. Is I am intentionally, after my warm-up, and then at the end of a practice session, I'm intentionally trying to find my breaking point. And so what I'm doing is trying to train my brain and my hands to play a little bit faster than I'm comfortable with and then I'm capable with at that particular time. This is making it me so that over time I will gradually start to be able to play faster and faster. And if you only play at where you sound great, then you're never going to push yourself out of that comfort zone as if you're like actually spending some time every single time doing this. So after my warm up, I intentionally do that. So I'm intentionally trying to play faster than is comfortable and try and just train my hands to get a little bit faster. So I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to do it at 125, which is 120 was already out of my comfort zone. But again, just trying to push myself to perform better. Let's scroll down and let's do 125. Go ahead and stop there. Okay. So my hands are warm, my hands are stretched and good to go. So let's actually play some tenor sweeps. Move those out of the way. All right, so I've demonstrated this in some other streams that I've done, but what I'm working on is not overshooting my playing so that it's moving from like the center of the drum to the opposite end of the drum. Like I want to be as close as I can from one drum to the next drum when doing a crossover. Trying to be as efficient with my motion while not changing my technique. So I don't want to like change my wrist angle and sweep like this. I want to maintain the same motion as if I'm playing on one drum, and I just move my arm over while doing this. Okay, so let's try, it's been a while since I've done this, so let's see how my right hand sounds just doing some normal sweeps. So my angle's okay. I'm looking to see what it looks like on one drum. Gonna go to one motion just to make sure that's good. Do the other motion. That one feels a little less comfortable. Okay, make sure this mic's on. Yay! A little ASMR for you. Okay, so now I'm going to do this with the left hand, and we're going to see how this sounds, or we're going to listen to how this sounds. Okay. So starting on one drum, we'll do one motion going down the drums. Now I'll try up. I'm slowing it down to really feel the motion, make sure it feels okay. That stick click was because I didn't go far enough to the outside drum, the drum 4. Okay, let's try both hands. My right hand's aiming a little too far now. Okay, so overall, it's okay. Now that I've done some of the outside drums, I'm going to check in with how my inside drums are doing. So this is just me trying to figure out, okay, what is working, what is not sounding great, and what can I specifically focus on in my practice session, because I know this is an area that I want to work on. Okay, so let's try here. Guess I gotta work on my left some more. Okay. Combine the hands together. So the stick click is coming from my left hand's not hitting the drum. It's not going over far enough, so it's actually starting here. And so I'm getting that first bit to hit rather than the second note. So that's what's going on there. I have a tendency when I do these inside, moving from out to in on the interior drums, I have a tendency to kind of start to slice like this. So I'm trying to actively avoid doing that. Okay, so just doing like 6 on each hand and then 4, etc. So I was just kind of messing around with the timing. So going back to just playing on one drum for the hand just kind of makes it so that, okay, I can check in, see how it sounds, make sure it sounds good. I don't want to have like diddles that sound like that. I want it to be nice and even between the first and the second note. And then I'm specifically listening for that while doing the sweep. So I want to make sure I don't go from here to all of a sudden sounding like that, but still keep whatever height I'm going for, whether it's low or high. I don't want to overemphasize the first note and choke off that second note like that. Okay. Some stick issues, some clicks and whatnot, but otherwise doing okay with that. So now what I'm going to do is do some crossover sweeps and see how those sound. So I'm specifically going to focus on some different variations of that. Ooh. Hitting it right here. Okay, so trying to see how comfortable that feels. Oof, not comfortable at all. So what I was trying to do is a wrist over wrist, but I think I need to do stick over stick, like this, as opposed to like this. If I was going to do wrist over wrist, it'd work well for like here, because I can actually get my hand out of the way. But here, the stick over stick, it's hard to not click the stick right here while still getting a full height here. Okay, so hopefully that camera angle is helpful for you and to be able to see what that looks like. Okay, let's try left hand. See how it chokes off the sound on my left? Doesn't sound good. So I'm trying to stay nice and open, but the problem is I'm changing the angle of my hand too much, so it doesn't sound great. That's better. Try the other direction. Yeah, that's a pain. Okay, let me try the wrist over wrist. Okay, that's all right. So now I'm going to try doing some windmills. So windmills are just going down the drums on the outside drums. So you go right, left, down the drums. Then you cross over, right, left, right, and then your left hand crosses over, left. And that's the whole thing. Then you just repeat that. So right, left, crossover, left, right, crossover, right, left, crossover, left, right, cross, right, cross, cross. Now, while doing this, one of the things that I'm trying to focus on is not swinging my hips or my shoulders around while playing. So I'm trying to just keep it so that I am continuing to look forward, or in this case at a slight angle to look at my camera, without hitting sticks and without moving my shoulders and my hips. If you move your shoulders, your drums are going to go with you. If you move your hips, then it's just going to like mess up some things. You put a lot of pressure on one side with the harness, assuming you're wearing one. Okay. So I'm looking at my stick playing positions where the beads are hitting, and I want to make sure that I'm not going really wide. I don't want to have a huge distance to travel. I want to have a short distance from one drum to the next. So that's specifically what I'm listening for. Do a swig of my slurp. Off camera, please. Cool. Okay, let's try this again. So I'm trying to keep nice big open heights. And I'm specifically, again, watching my playing zones. I'm focusing on my left in particular, on the crossover. There's a tendency for it to hit in the center of the drum first when I do that crossover. So I'm trying to get far enough over, but again, without raising or changing the angle of my shoulders. So I want to keep everything nice and even, square. Another thing that I'm trying to focus on is keeping it so that my wrists are staying at the same angle, so I'm not changing it so that it goes over, under like this. So I want to keep my wrists so that they are moving the same direction. I'm just changing the height that they are starting at, so whether they're above or below the other hand. So when I notice an error, I'm slowing it down a little bit, trying to figure out what's going on. So it's my left when I'm doing the crossover, but I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing, if I'm overshooting or undershooting, and that's causing me to hit it. It's really hard to talk while doing this. I'm noticing that my technique suffers a little bit. You're going to hear rim clicks a lot when you first start working on tenors, and you're also going to drop your sticks if you have a nice relaxed technique. Yeah! Stick hum. You can hear it when it's on the floor. Okay. Woo! Almost launched my stick. So it's inconsistent right now. So I'm messing up. Like obviously when you hear the stick click, but I'm not doing it consistently enough that I can figure out what the issue is. So I'm going to sit with this for a little bit. Excuse me. Try and figure out what's going on. See if I can see anything in the camera. Huh. So for that, I think my right hand wasn't actually coming far enough over. So I think that was what was going on right there. So when I made the adjustment, suddenly it wasn't clicking as much when I was moving my right hand after the crossover. Moved my shoulders too much. Choking off my diddles. Okay. Cool. Decent enough. Let's do another sweep crossover variation. I've heard this called Around the World, but I forget it now. Okay, that's what it is. So we have right, left, just like we were doing before. And then it's kind of like we're doing a windmill, except smooshed over to 3 drums rather than a spread of 4 drums. So we have right, left, over, under. I already forgot it. What was it? Okay, so right, left, over, under. And then you go back the way you came. And then you go back down. Is that right? Yeah, so it's like you're going swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. And then you go back the opposite way that you came. So you're going left, right, left. That gets you to here. And then you go back. Right, left, right. This is with the right hand. Right, left, left, right, left. So right, left, right, left, right, left, going across the drums. And then same thing with the left. But you do it with both hands. So right, left, right, no, right, left, right, left. And then this is a turnaround. Right, left. So that one's a 3. So 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3. I am just really unable to count today, apparently. Again, sharing all the flaws. Been playing a long time, and even I am like, wait, how does this go? Apparently I haven't played this enough. Right, right, under. Then we go over. This is the turnaround right here. That extra right basically makes it so you can do the same thing off the left. Just going back. Okay, honestly, better than I thought it would be. I haven't done tenor sweeps in a while. Like, I've done some crossovers and things like that, but not specifically working on different windmills and whatnot. I want to show you an exercise that you can do specifically to work on something. So let's go back here. whoop, too far, to my website under drumming content, chops and technique. So on here, there is a fast, slow, fast, and a slow, fast, slow. So this is a great way to work up a rudiment, a groove, whatever. Tenor sweeps, which is what I'm going to do. Cool. And add. Skip. Not monetized, but YouTube's making money. Okay, and let's make this 1080 so you can see all of the not much graphics in high definition glory. Okay, let's go up to here. So this is going to be about 10 minutes of me just playing the same thing over and over and over. So all I'm going to do is just what I was doing the Around the World, and I'm going to try and narrate out loud what I'm hearing and some of the things that I'm focusing while I do this. So it's going to be 10 minutes of focused practice of starting at 40, going really slow, 16th notes, and then going all the way up to 140, and then slowing it back down to 40 again. It's going to go one click at a time from slow to fast to slow. Okay, so this is a great way to just like, hey, for 10 minutes, all I'm going to do is focus on relaxing or whatever, playing zones, one thing. Okay. So I'm focusing on my playing zones. Do, re, ti, and. I'm a little fast. I'm noticing that my left hand was a little tight, so I'm trying to relax it. A little slow there. Oops. Forgot the pattern again. Too focused on my technique that I forgot the pattern. Undershot that. Rather, overshot. So if I'm practicing, like, let's say I have 15 minutes, I might just do this for 10 minutes, figure out what the different mistakes are that I'm making, and then spend the last 5 minutes just kind of refining that, just at whatever tempo I need. So it's a great way to practice each day. Just use an exercise like this tool. So that way you can specifically just sit there and have some focused time working on your technique, your chops, etc. Now I'm focusing on the distance that I'm doing between each drum. I noticed that my left hand on the crossover in particular, on this one, was too far. Oops. So now I'm focusing on that. Whoops. Trying to focus on my hand angles now. I want to make sure that I'm not changing the hand angles on the crossovers. started to go a little too fast there. Unexpected intermission. Okay, so now I'm specifically focusing on trying to not look down while I'm doing this. So specifically focusing on my playing zones earlier. And now I'm going based off of feel rather than actually looking down. It's okay to look down when you're specifically trying to work on something, but you need to make sure it's not a habit. So this is telling me that my left hand is not getting over far enough right here on the crossover. So I could hear that. So now it's just a matter of adjusting physically. Okay, so now it's about to get to 140, where it will stay here. And then it's going to slow back down here. Okay, so now I'm going to look down, look at my technique. I notice some shoulder movement. So I'm trying to be more aware of that. I might actually be angled wrong. I'm rushing. So the thing that I like is it gives you a little bit of time working on your fast speed. And then that gives you just enough information to go, oh, I need to focus on blank. And then it slows it back down so you can really refine that thing, whatever it is. Paying attention to what my hands are doing on the crossovers. Oops. Paying not enough attention to the speed. So I hope by narrating out loud the things that I'm focusing on, this gives you some different things that you can think through if you're practicing tenors, to go, oh, I didn't even realize that I should pay attention to that. If you're watching this live, feel free to ask some questions. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, feel free to let me know what you're working on in the comments, or ask your questions there, and I can address it in a future stream on Twitch. And then I'll put it on YouTube a couple days after I stream it. Been so far doing it on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I publish them. This upcoming Tuesday is going to be a stream of myself completely having myself playing drum kit. Give me plenty of stuff to work on. And I'm going to share it so that way you can see, oh, if you stop practicing for a couple months, things aren't going to sound great. Or in this case, it's going to sound pretty bad. Okay, so I'm focusing on staying big, open, especially for the second note, while staying nice and relaxed. A little too relaxed earlier when I dropped my stick. So the exercise will stop at 40. And I use this tool frequently. It is just so good for just like, hey, I'm going to work on flam drags for 10 minutes. Or whatever. You can do it on drumkit too. Maybe I'll demonstrate that. Okay, so that was me working specifically on the Around the Worlds. They sound okay until I start speaking. They're a little crushed on the second note. They're a little tight while doing it at faster speeds. But I mean, overall, like, they're decent. They're not amazing, but I mean, they're okay. So, something that I can continue to work on, and that's cool too. All right. Let's see. It's been 50 minutes, so I'm going to do some chop out stuff. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange my setup and play on drumkit. So, let's chop out. Let me switch sticks back to these. Why is it not switching? Switch. There we go. Okay. So the sticks that I was using are the Hardiman tenor sticks. But now I'm going to use the Hardiman hammers, which are significantly heavier, smaller bead. They're snare sticks in terms of they are a little bit longer, as you can see there. And they are way heavier. And I love them. Okay, so let's play through something. And let's do something chop-wise on my website. I don't think... So there's some triplet diddle stuff that's coming out on this upcoming Friday, at least at the time that I'm recording this, on Sunday the whatever. So that would have been fun, but that's not up yet. So let's do Shopping Spree. I'm gonna do Blue Devil's 99 Shopping Spree.
This is the world's first reused.
Ew, what's going on? God. I don't know why I get the ads in incognito. It's just, ugh. Okay. So now that we got that taste in our mouth, yeah, I'll say so, wife. It is very gross. So let's do this. 140. I'm just preventing it from going away. My thumb came entirely off the stick. That's what happened right there. Let's do that again. Can't start that way. Okay. BD 99 shopping spree. Okay. Decent. Let's try 141 again. Just going up one click. And then we'll speed her up to find the breaking point. Okay. So, we're going to find the breaking point. And let's just do it all the way up to 150 for now. I think I clicked on the right one. Yup. Okay, try that again. Brain fart. Brain fart. Okay, so let's try that at 152. Haven't earned the right to go on yet. Okay. Honestly, that might be a breaking point. But we're going to go faster. I really want to break it. It didn't sound great. I want to push my hands, go faster. Gotta go fast. Ew. Crush those diddles. Trying to stay light and relaxed. Easier said than done. Especially on this last couple lines. Whew. Yeah, that's definitely a breaking point for me right now. My arms are like, please stop it. My brain's like, no, try it faster. Okay, I am going to give my hands a little bit of a break while I actually completely rearrange everything. I'm going to shift everything over to the drum kit. All right, so after that intermission of resetting everything up, I'm going to now play some drum kit. So what I'm going to do is go to my website and go to the drum kit independence and charts page, and I'm specifically going to be working on, let me mute that. Okay, so I'm specifically going to be working on the charts. So I want to work on some independence patterns. So last week when I was playing, last Monday, I played through some like Baião patterns and it just sounded bad. So I'm going to work on those. So we'll go here and I forget what speed I was playing it at. Let's try 120. Let's see how that goes. So here, go to 120. And I'm going to mute myself so that way you don't hear two of me with a slight delay. Slow. Let's try 160. Yeah, let's try 160. It's not great, so I'm working on it. Yeah, so I mute this mic, so that was what was going on. Thank you for letting me know, wifey. Okay, here we go. What's interesting is sometimes the EAD, you don't actually hear it. So, I don't know why it does that. Let's go ahead and stop right there. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm going to go, that was the first 5. Yeah, thank you, phone alarm. Stop. That was the first 5 charts, and so I'm specifically just focusing on doing the Baião pattern, this one. While trying to stay nice and relaxed and whatnot, and play the rhythms that are going by on the chart. So it still doesn't feel comfortable yet. It feels better than it did last week, but because it still doesn't feel great, I want to just sit with this. So I'm going to sit with the same speed. I'm just going to jump over to the next set of charts in the playlist. So all I have to do is just hit the next button, and then it goes straight into charts 6 through 10. So it's a very helpful playlist to go through. Okay, let me mute myself, and I'm going to do the next 5 charts. Okay, so again, getting more comfortable. It's still not great yet. Still not where I want it to be, but that's why I'm working on this. Okay, so now I'm going to well, no, I'm not going to speed up. I'm going to go to the next set of things to work on, next charts, but I'm going to swap it so that I actually have the chat next to my charts so I don't have to look so far over. Okay. And I also just realized one of the things that I could actually do is instead of having to have the intermission where I like get everything set up, I could just try and move the tenor pad here. And so then all I have to do is like rearrange the microphone. So I think I'm going to do that tomorrow because tomorrow I have off. And we'll see if that works. All right, so let's try the next set of charts. This is 11 through 15. Again, just getting comfortable with playing the Baião pattern while reading some charts. Oof, that ending, not great. But overall, it was significantly improved from where it was previously. So what I'm going to do is go back to the first set of charts, and I'm going to try it faster. So again, like with what I was doing with the chops, I'm going to intentionally try and speed things up to get my brain to think faster, which will make it so that the speed that I was just playing at will feel more comfortable in the long run. So let's go to, I don't know, let's try 200. This might be overly ambitious, but we'll find out pretty quick. Honestly, better than I thought it would be. So let's keep going with this speed. I just totally got off there. Let me try that chart again. So on one hand, it's good to, when you're just messing up playing these charts, to just plow through it. Don't go back. Just keep going. Treat it like you would if you were actually in a live setting. You wouldn't be like, hey, sorry, let's loop that back again. So you wouldn't do that in a performance. But because that was basically the last chart, I wanted to just kind of redeem myself and attempt it again. So that's why I stopped it. But otherwise, even when I'm having myself, I'll usually just keep going through it, just keep pushing through, try and get better. But overall, at 200, that was not bad. Now, I'm going to make it more musical. So instead of playing everything on one drum, I'm going to play the short notes. So on the snare drum, and the long notes on the tom. Like that. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know if that'll sound good at 201, but I will find out. Right, meow. It's too fast to be able to do that. Okay, so that gave me a new thing to work on. So actually, I'm going to slow her back down, and we'll attempt this. It's a harder variation of the Baião pattern, but it's giving me something to focus on and to work on. So it'll improve the overall Baião, and it just started without me. My brain is like, nope, you're not going to do that right now. So that's okay. That was good information for me to know. That is something to work up to. I used to be able to do that, but right now I'm not able to. So it's been too long since I've actually practiced this. Overall, though, however, my Baião is way better than it was 6 days ago. Yeah, 6 days ago. So I'm happy with that. Progress was made, so woot. Now, I'm going to work on another pattern. So one of the other ones that I was working on last time was this one. And then you read through everything with your foot. Okay, so I'm going to do that one. And I forget how fast I did that. Not that fast. Okay, so let's back out of here. And let's do it at... Let's do it at 100. Let's see how this goes. It might not go at all. It's like cutting out the snare. I don't know if I got a defective trigger or what. Not loose on the lugs. Because you can do a lot of really cool stuff with it. I like the EAD10 because you can do stuff like this with it, where you can like this is really cool that you can just switch it up and then all of a sudden it sounds very different. But the problem is when you try and play normally, like this, if I were to simply play on the snare, like you don't hear all the notes. So it's annoying that like I was sitting there just doing this and you weren't even hearing the snare drum hits every time. So sometimes I just have to like loosen it up and then readjust it. Sometimes I have to tighten some of the heads on the mesh heads, the lugs on them, in order to fix it. But that was annoying. All right, let me try to continue this and hopefully you can actually hear the snare this time. It's like distracting when I don't hear my own snare. I think it might be like where it's hitting. It's just not. Like, look at that. Okay. Well, I think I'm just gonna have to put up with it. It is distracting though. Let's continue with chart 3, but actually I'm gonna speed this up. It's too slow. It's not too far out of my comfort zone So that's, let's try 120. That was 100. 120 sounds fine. I say that now. We'll see, though. Yeah, it's so distracting. I don't know if you can hear it on your end, but like I can't hear the snare at all on like half of my hits. And I really kind of rely on that to kind of ground myself. I'm gonna have to watch back on the stream, specifically on this overhead cam, to see where I'm like hitting. Like there's got to be a spot on here that's just like a dead zone. Let me do this. This is a whole lot more troubleshooting than it is practicing right now. I don't like that. Honestly, that feels a little bit better. It's picking up more of the articulation on the lower end. Not enough, but I basically have to play really loud for it to actually play the rhythms accurately. And then it doesn't even play that accurately. Okay. As long as it plays the snare hits, I'll be okay. Let's try and continue this. Yep, still not working. Well, that's frustrating. Okay, I'm going to try something different. So let me go back here. And let's see if maybe I can focus my brain on playing it at 2 times speed. And maybe if that will allow me to just ignore the fact that I can't hear my own snare drum. It's kind of frustrating. Just want to be able to play. But the thing is, like, I don't want to annoy all the neighbors by playing on normal heads. So I want the mesh. I like the EAD. In concept, it's just in execution, not really living up to what I want. Okay, so let's try 180. So this would be 90. too fast for me, so let's slow this down. That's okay, I'm learning. 160, yeah, so that's 80. Let's try it there. Again, you're seeing me struggle. Oh, this is hard. I haven't done this in a long time. It's a good one to work on, though. Okay, so while working on that, it got better a little bit, but my technique is just like forcing it all in rather than using the technique that I've been trying to work on, which is like a Jojo Mayer approach. So where you are kind of moving the top part of your foot and then the heel. So honestly, I should slow this down and just focus on that technique. I'm going to try it slower. Let's see how it sounds. But then it'll actually be time for me to call it for the stream. Not great playing on the drum kit. My hands were fine on tenors, but it gives me something to work on for the kit. And that's why I'm here practicing. Okay, so let's try it at 120. So that's basically 20 clicks slower than I was doing. So it's basically 60 BPM. And make that bigger. I realized that the other mic was on, which causes like the delay in sound, and then I tried to flip it over with my foot, and then I messed up. So let's try that again. Okay, this wasn't a good one to work on. What I'm going to do is actually even just get out of these charts and just do with the metronome. Same speed. Here, it's got that swung. Ga-dung, 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 ga-dung. I'm trying to actively work on that. So that's a little smoother. I'm also doing too much of the motion with the foot. Minimize that. Yeah, so this is interesting. I haven't worked up like single strokes with the foot in a while, and it doesn't sound great. So cool. Maybe I'll work on that tomorrow. So I've got on my website some too far exercises that would be great for this, including a song version. So my foot can be like, oh yeah, this is great. So I'll probably work on the 16th note permutations, swung and straight tomorrow. I think that's a good thing. Okay. So overall, the practice session had a lot of troubleshooting and whatnot. And sometimes that just happens with equipment, whether it's a all acoustic or hybrid digital. But in general, things got better. Like the Baião was significantly improved from where it was last week, where it was just like not happening. So to be able to play it at 200 and make it sound much more comfortable, I'm very happy with. And then the tenor sweeps, when I was working on all the moving across the drum, like that sounded significantly better than it did previously. You can see a previous stream where I worked on it. So great overall improvements, despite the technology issues and whatnot. So if you watch this, I hope you got something out of it. On YouTube, I will cut out all of the transition stuff, and tomorrow I'll think through how I can prevent so much downtime, because that was like 15 minutes of me having to rearrange stuff. So I'll figure that out. I'm still learning how to do this whole streaming thing. But anyways, if you stop by, I appreciate you checking it out. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. I will be on tomorrow and maybe even tonight with my wife, playing some Stardew or something. But tomorrow I'm definitely going to drum again. But anyways, I hope you all have a good rest of your day.